Hi everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for June 23rd to the 29th of 2019. And it kicks off on Sunday, the 23rd, with Venus opposed Jupiter. This is a great energy for enjoying nature, really good food and drink, fun, company, and lots of laughter. It is a celebratory energy to be enjoyed, but not to excess or to the neglect of your health or well-being. It's very creative and activates the true inner artist within all of us. It's also good to consider that you are at a midpoint in a relationship or creative project that you started about 6 months ago. Is it still viable? Is the story you're telling still true? Where's the value? Is it still worth it? Whether you're an artist or not, this activation can facilitate an infinitely creative mood and expand your individual work immensely. Activate your imagination, think big, have fun, and laugh today. But tomorrow, plan to start moving in a new direction that is more authentic for you personally. So I am going to add here that these are the two benefactors, so they always bring blessings no matter what they are disguised as. And then in opposition, we are here to integrate something about our renewed priorities and values and things that are shifting there along with the story we're telling. So it's a really nice checkpoint on basically the story you started at the beginning of this year. And so then Monday the 24th we have Venus squaring off with Neptune. So this also links the values and priorities, the sacred feminine, how we receive our inner artist, how creative and imaginative we can be with the two imagination and faith and belief and mystical magical planets as Jupiter and Neptune. They're very magical, but Venus is asking us to also be practical. She asks in Gemini what ideas, thoughts, and concepts are worthy of your creativity, and how can you add some multidimensionality to whatever it is you're doing at this moment. It is definitely time to be super original. Also, just to watch the over processing. That's one of the things that Jupiter can make bigger at this moment in Sagittarius, Gemini, Sag. But it's also about your lower mind versus higher mind. It's the learning versus teaching that we all do in some form or fashion throughout our lives. There's some renewal in that area in terms of our values and priorities. And it's asking us with Jupiter to integrate a larger vision, but to square off with Neptune is to not be deluded or delusional or susceptible to illusions, your own or anyone else's, and to be as clear as possible about what is most important and valuable to you at this time. So on Monday the 24th, when Venus squares off with Neptune, this energy is actually great for creative flow because it creates movement and friction and gets things going, and often provokes choices and decisions and things we have to really act on. So Venus would be the values and priorities, and Neptune would be the vision or some aspect of your spirituality or connection to God and Source. So that's where we are maybe at odds, where the values and priorities of our day-to-day is clashing with what our spirit would like to be doing. I know sometimes that happens to me for sure. But this is so good. If you are artistically inclined in any way, you will have access to an energy that may allow you to create something amazing. Dig deep and allow yourself to free flow. This energy can also challenge relationships, personal or professional, to keep it real in some way, and ones which are not on a true solid foundation are likely to dissolve under this influence. When Neptune is involved, we see life through a completely different kind of lens, often seeing the potential rather than the reality of the situation. So detach and trust. If your relationship happens to end under this influence, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it suggests that it may not have been on solid ground to begin with. Be thankful and move on. This activation is just helping you align your true values and priorities with the vision in your mind and heart, but you will have to expand your consciousness in some way, really stretch, follow your inner compass, which means that is your inner guide. You can deceive you, and take practical steps going forward. Ground it in something real. We're in the zone of thinking about what are the containers that are going to hold our creative babies going forward. And so that leads us to Tuesday the 25th, when there isn't an activation, but we're going to have the Venus circle. I did add a little excerpt here on my blog because we're approaching the midpoint, so I want to give everybody a heads up, because this is often a time in the cycle when folks filter in and start to join the circle and we expand for the reclamation side of things. So this midpoint, which is an exciting pivot point for one and all, this is the best time to remind you to check in with the cycle to see how it is unfolding for you. If you're like me, you want to get all the good out of this particular cycle in Libra Scorpio, because that covers a lot of ground that is vital for living. Balance, fairness, justice, beauty, essence, power, soul, eternal, 0 point. It is totally related to our relationships, partnerships, and collaborations of all kinds, including and especially intimacy. Our intimate relationships and how we define love and family and support is evolving. But anyway, you can refer to my Venus cycle article here on my website. It'll be linked on the blog. But in essence, September to December of 2018, which is 6 months ago, we're at summer solstice, looking back at what we seeded at winter solstice. But right at winter solstice, we were coming out of the Venus retrograde process. And so it was such a deep renewal of conception point, of moving into the unknown in a very real way, where we have wrapped up things for the last 8 years or more for many of us. But just think back to that September-December time, which is when she would have lingered and stirred up those departments in your chart. And also your frame of reference for this cycle is 2010, the last time she would have lingered in the same area for you. The upgrade in our love and money or relationships and resources departments is customized for each individual, but no one is exempt from the upgrade. We are in a time when relating to each other is completely different. How we define family, love, commitment is evolving. Just feel into that and see if you haven't been doing your own personal clearing, realizing values have changed and priorities have shifted, and it's all natural and it's all good, but changing nonetheless. Because we are approaching the midpoint in the Venus cycle, it's a good time to reread that article and check in with your own evolution over the last 9 months of soul-level release work. Whether you joined us or not, we've all been going through this process leading to now. Because now you're going to get your reward for that labor, I promise. Venus will disappear from the sky in the beginning of July, meet up with the Sun on August 14th, 2019, and return as the evening star in September. It is a powerful thing to synchronize your life with Venus's rhythm, and I invite you to join us on the reclamation side when we explore new opportunities and experiment with different learning or healing modalities that better serve the new values and priorities that you are anchoring in the here and now. So I often have guest teachers on those calls that are a lot of fun and always magical and transformative. So I hope you will consider joining us on Tuesday the 25th when we do Gemini and the Crown Chakra release. So Gemini, Crown Chakra release, all are welcome. And our last activation for the month is Sun sextile Uranus. So this is a really good one to close this week on. This is amazing because we are still basking in the glow of solstice. And so if you missed the solstice call with me and Shanta, it was magical. And I will be uploading the excerpt that covers our season, the energetic support we have, as well as her meditation, which was pretty magical as well. But this is going to get extended because of Mercury's retrograde in Cancer. So a lot of the work we're doing at this time is warming up for that. And it's why the self-care and replenishment vibration is so supported at this moment, to really check in with those people and causes and communities and the things that are very near and dear to your heart, and give them some energy. But Venus is rearranging priorities, and with Jupiter and Neptune, it's asking you, what do you believe to be true or possible for yourself, for the community, for the planet, on out, and to redream that. We have tremendous rare alignments that are supporting us to dream up a new way of literally being in our bodies and honoring the spirit in human form that we are in all its glory, and still functioning and staying in the body. You used to have to go to the mountain for this. This is so magical that we are capable of giving ourselves 5 to 15 minutes a day or more if you're lucky and blessed, then you get to give time and energy to your spirit and your soul self, which really wants to help guide your life and is a tremendous support as you navigate. So I encourage you to fire up the conversation with your soul self. So on the 27th, which is Thursday, Sun sextile Uranus, this activation will help you access a deeper sense of authenticity, as everyday routine events may be enlightening this week. Anytime Uranus is involved, aha moments are available. Those sudden inspirations or surprising clarity that changes everything and is bubbling near the surface. You need but invite it in to your conscious awareness to be useful. Eventually, you will have to ground these breakthroughs in some physical form, but this energy supports the exploration of possibilities. Where can you use a dose of freedom and liberation? This energy also promotes authentic living. You won't be able to be phony nor tolerate it in others this week. Just remember that truth sometimes rattles those who would rather play nice, quote-unquote nice, meaning keep up appearances or status quo, and they'd rather do that than face facts. So watch out for rebelliousness, if not in you, then in others. This is not a disruptive energy, except to those who resist change. Don't fight it, embrace it. Change is good. It means you're growing. It's really a good thing. We don't even want to try to apply the old ways to the new zone or to the new direction or to the new project or creative babies. Whatever's changing, look for a completely new creative solution to functioning in the new world. Like, don't try to make anything from the old work in the now. Really try to get creative and improvise and work with what's right in front of you. And I did add here, just because, like we said, this is a week where the truth sayers are out, and that rattles cages, I know, because I am one. But that word, nice, is something that has come up over the years when I have been prompted to share again and again. I just remind you here that the original form and meaning of the word nice was, according to the etymology dictionary, foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, or clumsy, careless, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, or silly. So we don't want to be nice. That's all I'm saying. It means ignorant, unaware, and literally not knowing. So it doesn't mean what we think it means. When we say be nice to people, that's not really what we want to do, and that's not the origins of that word. It's transformed over the years like a lot of language does. But I just think it's an interesting thing that the patriarchy uses on us that I like to bring into the light. So a powerful week for shifting priorities, but good support for you as an individual to be liberated on some level with this final activation this week. It's really interesting, but be mindful of what you're choosing to believe, the story that you are embodying and expressing through your choices in life. And know that you do have some access to a softer energy for about 2 months here before it gets fired up in Leo time and we get into the harvest, which does have some activity of its own. But this is a really good month or two where you're going to find these pockets of space-time that open up for you to get some of your soul work done, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of them as they arise and be ready for them. I historically lived in 2 cities at one time, so I have always had a bag packed, ready to go and do something somewhere. And for me now, my life and my practice that takes me to the beach a lot and a lot of my ritual ceremony stuff, I do have this little kind of travel set, and they travel with me for those kind of things, but I have to be ready, on a moment's notice. So set yourself up for that. Be ready to have some me time. I mean, it's just so delicious, and you've earned it, and it's the time in the year where you should be assessing, all that has worked and is taking root and growing and blossoming, and letting go of anything that didn't take, so that you can really devote some energy to the harvest when it comes. So it was great connecting with you, and thanks again for listening. This is Kelly M. Beard of KarmicTools.com, and I'm so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate, and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at KarmicTools.com. or you can reach me through my contact page on the website. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, or subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept, but there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for over 30 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. One love.